Embraer's mission is to bring value to our stakeholders. At Embraer, we say that it's about the journey, and the journey is bringing value to the customers through excellence. One of the responsibilities that I have with the team in the US is to support and enable our business. Our business relies on technology, so it's very important for us to be able to offer the solutions that the business requires. Well, I found R2 when I was searching for a company to do a readiness assessment at one of our data centers in South Florida. We were looking for a partner that was agile and had the maturity that we needed to help us deliver on those projects.
Embraer came to one of our lunch and learns that we had at Ruth's Chris showing off the VSPEX data center, and they were having some data center challenges themselves. They had asked a lot of questions, and we had agreed to a follow-up meeting the next day. Jack had asked us to come down, and he was going to share some of his plans for road mapping.
Next day, we have Jamie, Jason, and the technical team at our offices whiteboarding a 5-year strategic plan. So it went really quick, really well.
And so we had the opportunity to sit down with Jack and hear his vision out over the next 5 years and to give him some feedback and some of the thoughts that R2 would give him to help design his data center going forward.
Within the first sessions, the first working sessions that we had with the team, we realized that R2 was the partner that we needed to engage. One of the challenges that we have was a growth in business, not only in terms of number of locations and sites that require additional infrastructure, but also in terms of the nature of the business. So we had to take a look at our storage infrastructure, our virtual environment infrastructure, and our network infrastructure.
They engaged R2 to do a data center assessment. And so we came in, took a look at their environment and made recommendations to remediate certain things in their environment. One of which was the fact that their redundant Nexus switching infrastructure was supposed to be built in a redundant fashion, but wasn't, and so we had to correct that immediately.
R2 was able to effectively bring the resources that we needed to look at all of these technologies in a holistic way to allow us to prepare to enable and support that business.
Embraer is a fairly complex environment, so we had to take into account many things. The big thing we had to take into account was downtime. We had to do a very large migration with very limited downtime.
Embraer just opened the first engineering and design center outside of Brazil in the US. It's a state-of-the-art facility that is going to host 250 engineers responsible of designing the new generation of jets in the executive jets market. And it was a very big project that we've been working on for about a year. All of the infrastructure that went into the planning and the infrastructure that went into that project, R2 was responsible for helping us put it together and delivering at the end of the day.
Our two services provided were our expertise in collapsing switching infrastructure in their data center. They needed a little more optimization. They weren't broken, they just needed to be fixed a little bit.
After we did the network assessment and the remediation for Embraer, we were engaged by Embraer as the managed services partner. And so I think that the relationship has gone from a vendor to help them with a point problem to a strategic partner going forward.
Now that R2 is engaged with the team in the US, one of the things that we realize is that we can depend on R2 to help us design, plan, and deliver projects with very little intervention for our team.
Partnering with a company like Embraer really forces you to up your game. It forces you to take into account everything and make sure you deliver 100%.
The partnership between R2 and Embraer has evolved to a strategic partnership. Now we rely on R2 as not only as an integrator and a service provider, but also as a trusted advisor. We work very closely with them into what our strategies are going forward, and they are now part of our team, and we rely on their expertise.
Jack has a very tall charter, and Brazil headquarters has tasked him with leading the charge into investigating technologies going forward for the entire organization. He expects that the United States is going to be on the forefront of that technology. And so R2 has been engaged from an architecture perspective in all those conversations, and they're great conversations to have.
The partnership with R2 and Embraer started out as a very simple assessment. And I think Jack dug into what we could provide for them, and he asked some really great questions, very business focused, and I think he liked our answers. So it went from just a very simple project that had a start date and an end date to a relationship that'll carry on for a very long time.